Hello, everyone. It's Serenity. So, I hope all of you are doing okay. My last video, I talked about the flood, and I also talked about what brought about the flood and actually what happened afterwards. So, what I'm going to do today is mention a few things that actually, now that you know that story, actually what happened, that a lot of things that were said in the Bible by Jesus will be clear to you now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I did tell you that there are these, human beings that now have the God gene. So the true God, as well as the true God's family, has officially adopted these ones. So they would be considered the children of God. Okay. Now there is also that offspring of the rebel Lord God, who created these beings basically, and not all of them got the God gene. So, how did this happen? Well, it's because, and history can also attest to this, what he did is his creations, many of them, actually, in order to keep the bloodline pure, would like interbreed, basically with close relatives or cousins, that type of thing. And that still happens to this day. So, in a way, they weeded out themselves because they refused to actually spread their genetic, well, their DNA basically. So they're automatically going to be rooted out because of that. Because of the inbreeding and whatnot, they did not have the necessary genetic strains in order to qualify as an adopted or child of God. So that is actually why in John chapter 8, 40 through 44, okay, Jesus had actually, when he was addressing the Pharisees here, he had actually addressed the Pharisees' father here, and he said, okay, I'll just read it. So that's in John 8:44, where it says, "You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it." Now, one thing to notice here is that Jesus didn't say, "This is your angel, your guide, your whatever." He literally acknowledged that this was their father. Just like even in earlier videos, I would refer to Jehovah as Father. He is not the universal Father, but he's also known as a Lord Father. Not a good one, but he still is. That is his title, Lord. He's one of the Lords. Okay? So that I just wanted to bring that out because later it'll make sense, because Jesus referred to this rebel as a father of these particular ones. I refer to him as a father in the past of particular ones. Basically, the offspring of this rebel God would do things that he has done as well. Like, they would have no problem lying. They would have no problem pretending to be someone that they really are not, just like he pretended and still does pretend to be the true God when he is not. Accusations, accusing innocent ones of things that really is none of their business, is false. And let's say even if they made mistakes, they accuse them of, still being in this sinful state, which is not something that someone who has the God DNA, the God genes would do. That is the exact opposite. but it would distinguish the ones who do have that God species genes. Hopefully this isn't too confusing, from the ones that do not. Now, that is also why in Matthew 13 and verse 30, when Jesus was talking about the parables here, this should make a lot of sense to you now. And that's in Matthew 13 and verse 30, where he said, "Let both grow together until the harvest. And at the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, first gather together the tares or the weeds and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn." Okay. So there will be two distinct classes. But because it was difficult for these to be differentiated, there had to be a time where they grew together until there would be no doubt who was who. And that time is now. Also, Matthew chapter 13, 37 through 45, where Jesus said, "He answered and said to them, He who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seeds are the sons of the kingdom, but the tares, or weeds, are the sons of the wicked one. The enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. Therefore, as the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of this age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness." So, once again, I had described to you in my last video that there are these ones, and the harvest time is now because these ones that have this gene are ready. So that's what's taking place now. Now, it's one of those things where if you have the right genetic makeup, the right heart, you will basically, whether you are a Jehovah's Witness, an ex-Jehovah's Witness, a Catholic, a Protestant, a Muslim, it doesn't matter what religion you are or anything. Once you start to get activated, you will know that Christ-like energy. You could be atheist, you could be agnostic, but once that activation takes place, you will dwell in that Christ-like energy. You will love, you will forgive, you will not judge. You will understand these things just like the true source of life does, as well as Jesus or that Christ-like energy. But if you are from basically the offspring of this rebel God, it'll be very apparent. And that's why there will be ones that come out of various religions and everything. They will have that strong desire and basically wake up and want to distance themselves and get out of false religion or what has been a lie. They will know it's a lie. They will know the truth. They will know that Christ-like energy, and they will flee from that. And that's exactly what's happening. So many are waking up. But just because you wake up, it doesn't mean that you're safe. It takes work, and it also takes courage, because just like Jesus said, he is peace, but he knew that when people dwelt in that Christ-like energy or love, that it would divide households. So I'm telling you this because it may be necessary for you to make very difficult decisions and choices, knowing the outcome of knowing the outcome of what could happen, basically. So I told you about baptism. I told you it's part of that occult-based form of worship. Those two questions that you answered when you said you dedicated your life to Jehovah, you literally did that. So it was a binding soul contract with this rebel God, with Satan. So everyone has free will, but I'm telling you, it would be to your advantage to legally and officially take back your life or disassociate from Jehovah's Witnesses if you have not done so. Because even though you are inactive and maybe you have been for years, maybe decades, you're still on the roster belonging to this rebel God. I can't lie. I can't sugarcoat things. That's your reality. And when you made that dedication, we really have no jurisdiction over that. Okay, this isn't to make anyone, downhearted or anything, but it's supposed to actually uplift you, because those who are meant to actually be in this kingdom, this Christ-like energy of love, peace, unity, will do so. But it may take, like I said, courage on your part, okay, to do the right thing. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't want to go too long into my videos. That's it for today, okay? I love you all. Please stay strong. Keep showing love to others. That's what counts, okay? All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.